In English, there is a saying that goes, "Too many cooks spoil the broth." Let's talk about that. A lot of people reach out to me. They contact me because they want to know more about my coaching services. And usually they start by saying, "I am going to such or such school to take classes, and I am attending 2 or 3 hours every day, but I am making no progress. So how do you work?" And I explained them my methodology, how do I work, and they said, "Okay, that's different, that sounds interesting. So tell me about the price and the time." And after I told them the price of the coaching and the number of hours that we work together, they immediately do the math and they say, "Well, I am paying almost the same amount of money, but I am getting 15 hours. And with you, will I get only 2? Sorry, but that's not for me." And there is no problem with that. Coaching is, I think, not for everybody. But I think that we can rescue something from that conversation. They are admitting, in the first place, that 15 hours a week of classes are doing nothing for them. And I know that at this point, this may seem like a blunt promotion of my services, but it's not. I'm just trying to make a point. A couple of years ago, I had one group at a private school where I was teaching. These students were in course 5. So they had been taking classes for 5 months and they were doing fine. And since the very beginning, we connected. We were getting along really well. And when the course finished, well, a couple of days before, they approached me and they said, we feel that you are a good teacher. We feel that we are really learning with you. So we want you to be our teacher next month." And I said, "Well, I would love to, but that in that moment was the last month that I was teaching in the afternoons. So I said, starting next Monday, I am going to go back to teaching only in the mornings. If you can come in the mornings, I'm sure we can do something." And they said, "Well, we cannot, we have school or other things." And in the end, that was the end. I didn't have a chance to keep working with them. But a few months later, something like 6 or 7 months later, I returned to teaching in the afternoon, just for a brief period. And I was teaching course 5. And in that course 5, there was one of the students that I had given classes to some months before. And she was taking the course again, not because she had to repeat it, but because she felt she needed more practice. And I said, "Well, that's fine." The school gave her the opportunity to do that, and she was taking the course again. But what really shocked me was that after she told me at the end of the course, when she was with me, that she had really learned and she was really getting to grasp all the knowledge of the course, when she was taking this course 5 again, 7 months later, she had forgotten almost everything. And I was just thinking, I didn't say that to her, but I was thinking, I taught you this and you said it was clear, but apparently it was not. And she was taking this course 5, but also she was taking her regular course, I think it was course 12, a couple of hours later. So she was coming to the school something around 5, she took course 5, and that was from 5 to 6:30, and then she had like 1 hour in between to take her regular class. So she was in the school for 4 hours. So that was a lot of time to spend at an English school. But what she was doing was not really productive because she was taking the course 5, she was taking her course 12, and she was studying her textbook in that period in between. And she was making no progress. And she was not a bad student. She was a really intelligent woman and she was trying hard and she was really eager to learn, but she was just using her time doing things that were not really productive. She was devoting 4 hours of her day every day to learn English, but still she was making no progress, at least no noticeable progress. And I had a chance to talk to her and I said, you know, I know that you really want to learn English and you are investing a lot of your time here, but in my opinion, all that time that you are using could be used in a better and more productive way if you took only one course and use all that other time to watch things in English, read things in English, do other things, but not taking more classes. Taking more classes was really not helping her at all. And this is a general misconception. We think that more classes means more learning, but that's not always the case, and 90% of the times it is not. You can go to classes 10 minutes every day, and that will be enough if you use all the other time you have to learn English doing more productive things. The purpose of the class is not really to learn a lot of things. The purpose of the class is to have one space every day where you can listen to things in English, where you can make the things you listen to understandable, when you can ask the questions, where you can make maybe a few notes, talk, make mistakes. That is the purpose of the classroom. But it could be 5, 10, 15 minutes and then take all that knowledge, no matter how little knowledge it is, and use it in your real life. So I told her 4 hours and a half every day of English classes are maybe good, but if you took only half an hour and use all those 4 other hours that you are now willing to use doing other things, you will make much more progress and you will be less stressed and you will enjoy more all this process. This is something you have to enjoy, and 4 hours of classes every day, I don't see how anybody could enjoy that. And this is where we can parallel those two situations. I told you about the saying in English, too many cooks spoil the broth. You can have one really excellent chef, and this guy can make the best soup, the best broth that you can imagine. But maybe you think, well, if one cook, if one chef can make this hell of a dish, maybe if we bring in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 more, maybe the result will be better. But when that happens, you are just accumulating hands, accumulating opinions, accumulating different points of views, and this can maybe alter the result in a negative way. So no matter how much time you decide or have to spend in an English class or with a private teacher or with a coach, if you have that time, go there and use it effectively. And don't rely 100% on that. That is only the beginning. That is only the starting point of your day in English. Time is your most valuable asset. Use it wisely.